To show you how easy it is to start a successful business, I'm going to give you everything you need to know in under 6 minutes using the 6 keys to any successful business. Starting with key number 1, taking the first step. For most people, this is the most difficult part. But here's the thing. Once you start, you're already ahead of 92% of people with a business idea. Pretty crazy, right? But maybe you don't know what to sell. No worries. Just don't get stuck chasing the perfect opportunity, because it doesn't exist. Pick something that interests you and just do that. For me, I spent multiple years in analysis paralysis, hunting for the right opportunity. Then, one day I had enough. I quit my restaurant job to go all in on a tree trimming business. It might not have been glamorous work, but it put me ahead of most of my peers just by being in the game. However, it wasn't long before that business took a turn for the worse. Which leads me to key number 2, minimizing risk. Looking back, I wish I hadn't quit my job. If I had instead continued to work, doing tree trimming on the side, I could have fueled that business with the capital it needed to be successful and have a fallback when things went wrong. If you want to get into business, start with a side hustle and grow it into your full-time income. A big part of minimizing risk is making sure there's real demand for what you sell. Before you bet your entire livelihood on a business, try running some ads. Talk to some potential customers and get a feel for the market. Once you're sure there's people actually wanting to buy what you've got, you can breathe easy. Or maybe they want nothing to do with you. And that's why Key number 3, pivot. The problem with my tree trimming business was that I had been too unprepared. I didn't have the right tools, no truck to haul branches, not even a name for my business. To customers, I came across as unprofessional and unreliable. So I made a pivot. I kept everything else the same, but switched to window cleaning instead. Why? Because it needed much less startup capital. When the decision comes for you to pivot, which it will, you will be faced with 2 difficult but critical choices. First option, avoid change. Keep doing what you know isn't working. This is how businesses get run into the ground. But here's the catch. Pivoting isn't always the right move. Sometimes, preserving what you have is the better play. The key is knowing the difference between when to pivot and when to hold steady. And if you get that right, you'll do well. The second option, quit. Simple as that. Unfortunately, this is the most tempting choice for most beginners. But remember, you always have more chances, because in this game, you only lose when you quit. Pivot when needed, but don't fix what's already working. Key number 4, build a brand. Your brand is what's going to set you apart from your competition. It's not just your name and logo, it's the feeling your customer gets when they hire you. The first step is locking in the feeling you want to create. Then, you work backwards from there. Want a premium feel? Raise your prices, keep a clean appearance, dress professionally, do quality work, and get aesthetic business cards. This is the feeling I've created for customers with my window cleaning business. We all wear white t-shirts, overalls, and tan boots. Everything about us looks clean and professional. But let's say you're after more of a small town feel. You could communicate only through personalized texts, avoid using AI, send handwritten thank you cards, and get testimonials from important people in the community. So, if you want to stand out, build a brand. Key number 5, stay consistent. Every business has ups and downs, but you can't let that stop you. Shortly after starting my window cleaning business, the season ended and it was too cold to continue. I had laid a solid foundation for myself, but for whatever reason, the idea of continuing into the spring didn't excite me at all. Now, I've always been someone who hops from one idea to the next, usually before I could make any real progress with any of them. Dropshipping, AI ebooks, YouTube, including the channel you're watching right now. I tried all those, but this time it didn't make sense to just set things aside. I knew I had something special here. So, that spring, I got back to work. But success didn't happen overnight. Not that I cared. After all, I didn't start for the money. I started because I wanted to learn the game. In short, when things get tough, keep going. So that's it. The 5 keys to getting into the game and building a successful business. 1. Take the first step. 2. Minimize risk. 3. Pivot when needed. 4. Build your brand. 5. Stay consistent. Starting a business isn't about finding some magic formula or overnight success, but more like showing up and learning. If you commit to these keys, you're already ahead of most people who just dream about starting. The hardest part is just getting into the game. Once you do that, everything else becomes a lot easier.